We Were Scouts by Lapusella. I don't talk about this much, but the other night, watching my kids in the yard yelling at each other over tent poles, it hit me. Troop 48, late summer 98. That drafty church basement with the buzzing lights. We were supposed to be paying attention while Mr. Peterson lectured about tying bowlines. Tyler, of course, was stretched out in his chair, pulling back a rubber band like he was sighting down a rifle. Snap. Eli flinched, grabbing the back of his neck. Ow! What the fuck, dude? Tyler smirked. Quit moving, I'm practicing. Eli swatted at him. Do that again and I'm shoving that band down your throat. Danny snorted so hard Mr. Peterson looked up, frowning over his glasses. We all ducked our heads like angels until he was back to his paperwork. That's when Micah said it. You guys ever hear about skinwalkers? Tyler lowered the rubber band and squinted. The fuck's a skinwalker? Micah leaned in, voice low like he wanted to creep us out. It's like... Okay, it's a person, but not really. They take things. Faces. Voices. They act like they're somebody you know, so you follow them. And then? Then what? Danny asked, grinning. Micah hesitated. Then you don't come back. Eli laughed. Oh, spooky. You mean like a werewolf? No, it's not a wolf, it can be anything, Micah said, fumbling for the right words. My uncle said he saw one by Miller's Creek. Said it was standing in the trees, looking just like him. Same jacket, same hat, but it was smiling, and he wasn't. Danny snorted. Your uncle's a drunk, man. He probably saw his own reflection in a puddle. Micah didn't blink. He heard his own voice calling him deeper in, but he was already in the house. He swears on it. Tyler sat back, grinning like a shark. All right, fuck it. Let's go find one. Yeah, sure, Danny said, leaning in. Let's all die in the woods so Micah feels validated. You scared, bitch? Tyler shot back. Of your dumbass? No. Eli groaned. You guys are idiots. Tyler pointed the rubber band at him. You're coming too, or I'm telling everyone you cried watching Armageddon. Eli flipped him off, but didn't argue. Micah just shrugged. Friday night. Bring flashlights. And don't go off by yourself, okay? He said it like it mattered. None of us took it seriously. We were all in my yard, crouched around our packs, spreading stuff out on the porch like we were about to storm Normandy. Tyler dumped his gear first. Flashlight, duct tape, half a bag of Doritos, and a dented canteen. All right, ladies. This is how a pro rolls out. Eli held up a cheap folding knife. Yeah, pro at dying first, dumbass. Why'd you bring duct tape? Planning to kidnap Bigfoot? Tyler grinned. Duct tape fixes everything. Skinwalker bites your leg off? Bam, duct tape. Micah, neat as hell, had his stuff lined up in a perfect row. Compass, spare batteries, first aid kit, even a notebook. Jesus Christ, Eli said, laughing. We're going hunting, not camping for a month. Micah didn't look up. When your flashlight dies, don't come crying to me. I was sorting mine out. Granola bars, lighter, my dad's old flashlight. Tyler picked up the lighter and flicked it on. Nice, Rory. When we all freeze to death in August, we'll thank you. Shut up, Tyler, I said, snatching it back. They were still laughing when we heard it. Tires skidding hard on pavement. Danny shot around the corner on his bike like a bat out of hell. No hands, backpack flopping everywhere. He hit the curb too fast. The front wheel jerked and he almost went face first into the driveway. Holy shit! Danny yelled, slamming both feet down and skidding to a stop inches from Tyler. We all lost it, laughing so hard I almost dropped my flashlight. Nice entrance, dumbass, Tyler yelled. You trying to impress the monster? Danny grinned totally unbothered and ripped his backpack off. Nah, bitches, I brought the good shit. He dumped it out right in the middle. 2 flashlights, beef jerky, Twizzlers, and a disposable camera that looked like it'd been through hell. Hell yeah, I said, picking up the camera. You think this thing even works? Course it works, Danny said. First proof of a skinwalker, front page, baby. I'm buying a boat. Eli shook his head, laughing. Only boat you're buying is a canoe for your dumbass funeral. Yeah? Danny shot back. Then I'm haunting your bitch ass. Tyler clapped his hands. All right, shut up. Load up. Let's go catch a monster. And just like that, we grabbed our packs and headed for the woods. All big mouths and no fear. At least for now. We cut across backyards and hit the old dirt path behind the baseball field. The sun was gone, the air thick and buzzing with crickets. Tyler took point, swinging his flashlight like he was in a horror movie. All right, boys, he called back. When we get famous, I get top billing. Yeah, famous for being the first dumbass eaten, Eli shot back, kicking a rock down the trail. Suck it, Tyler said, without missing a step. Danny laughed. Careful, Eli. You might actually try it. Tyler spun around, grinning. Danny, if you don't shut up, I'm feeding you to the first raccoon we see. Micah was walking just behind them, quiet, scanning the tree line like he expected to see something. Can you guys stop screaming? You're gonna scare it off. It? I asked, tightening the straps on my pack. Whatever's out here, he muttered. Eli snorted. Yeah, or maybe nothing, 'cause your uncle's full of shit. Tyler held up a hand suddenly, dramatic as hell. Wait, shut up. You hear that? We froze. A rustle in the bushes. Low? Close. Nobody moved. Then the noise got louder and a squirrel darted out, tail flicking, and disappeared up a tree. Oh my God! Danny yelled, clutching his chest. Almost died, boys! Write my will! Tyler doubled over laughing. Holy shit, Danny. You jumped like 5 feet. Fuck you, Danny yelled, pointing a finger. You jumped too. I saw your ass. We kept moving. Flashlight slicing through the dark. Every couple of minutes, someone would whisper someone else's name just to mess with them. Eli. Eli spun, eyes wide. Who the I swear to God, Tyler. Tyler was grinning ear to ear. Damn, Eli, you scream like my grandma. Later, Micah stopped short, staring into the dark. Wait. There. Look. We all bunched up behind him, hearts pounding, flashlights darting. A shape was standing at the edge of the clearing, still, shadowed. Tyler stepped forward slowly. Holy shit, is that? The shape moved. Run! Danny shrieked, bolting. And then the shape turned its head, and the light hit antlers. A deer. Just a deer. We all started laughing so hard we couldn't breathe. Even Micah cracked a smile, shaking his head. You guys are idiots, he said. Shut up, Micah, Tyler laughed. Your uncle's spooky monster is fucking Bambi. We wandered around another hour, scaring ourselves over nothing. Shadows, wind, our own footsteps. By midnight, we were sweaty, covered in mosquito bites, and starving. This is bullshit, Eli said, dragging his feet. Yeah, nice monster, Micah, Danny said, grinning. Real terrifying. Oh, a cricket, run for your lives! Tyler shoved him playfully. Shut up. We're coming back. Next weekend. And we're gonna find something. We all agreed, because that's what kids do when they're high on their own bravado. We cut back through the park, laughing, still throwing insults, feeling like nothing could touch us. For a week, that's all it was. Until we went back. That week at school, it turned into a running joke. At lunch, Tyler was holding court like always, feet kicked up on the bench. I swear, if that deer had taken one step closer, I'd have punched you in the face. Eli nearly spit out his chocolate milk. You'd have pissed your pants, that's what you would have done. Shut the fuck up, Tyler said, laughing. At least I didn't trip over every root in the country. Danny was waving that disposable camera around like a badge. Look, man, you can see it in this shot. Those glowing eyes in the background? That's a skinwalker. I leaned over to look. Dude, that's a raccoon. Danny slammed the camera down. Raccoon today, skinwalker tomorrow. Just wait. Micah sat quietly, picking at his sandwich, then said softly, You guys didn't hear how quiet it got, though. That shut us up for maybe 5 seconds. Tyler broke it with a grin. Yeah. Next weekend, we go deeper. We bring better gear. We actually find this thing, so Micah quit sounding like a horror movie trailer. Bring better shoes too, Eli said. Because I'm not dragging your dumb ass out when you twist your ankle. You'd leave me? Tyler said, pretending to be offended. In a heartbeat. Danny laughed. Hell, I'd take your flashlight and leave you a note. The rest of the week was the same. Us in the hallways, in the gym after school, at the gas station grabbing sodas. We kept talking about it, hyping it up. The more we joked, the less it felt like anything bad could really happen. By the next scout meeting, we were buzzing. Mr. Peterson was trying to explain how to build a safe campfire, while Tyler kept whispering, "This weekend, boys, I'm telling you, it's our time." Danny leaned across the table. "Bet $20 you're the first to cry." "Bet $20 you're the first to run home to your mommy," Tyler shot back. Eli rolled his eyes. "If we all die, can we at least agree to haunt Tyler first?" Micah finally looked up from his notebook. "Just don't go off by yourself." We all stared at him for a second. He wasn't joking. Then Tyler grinned, snapping a rubber band at Eli's arm. "Relax, man. We're coming back with proof." We all believed him. Or we wanted to. Friday night couldn't come fast enough. Friday night hit, and we were back in my yard, packs already zipped, flashlights checked twice. Tyler slapped his hands together. "Round 2, bitches. Let's go get famous." Eli rolled his eyes, adjusting his pack. "Yeah, let's go get mauled by a fucking deer again." Danny grinned, spinning the camera in his hand. "Not this time. This time, I'm getting the money shot. Skinwalker centerfold, baby." Micah didn't smile. Just stick together. We cut across the same yards, hopped the same fence, and hit the trail just as the last light drained out of the sky. The air smelled like wet leaves and dust. Tyler led again, swinging his light like a sword. "All right, keep your eyes peeled. First one to see something gets free Doritos." "Man, you already ate all the Doritos last time," Eli said. "Yeah, because you're slow and weak," Tyler shot back. Danny laughed. "Slow and weak, like your pull-out game." Tyler swung at him with a stick, missing by a mile. "You're lucky I don't beat your ass with this." We were loud, stupid, confident, and then the woods started to close in around us. Crickets hummed so loud it felt like static in my ears. Every time a branch snapped underfoot, someone jumped. "Micah," Tyler said in a creepy voice. "I hear your uncle calling." Danny burst out laughing. He's probably drunk, yelling at squirrels. We kept going deeper, banter fading into nervous chuckles. Then Tyler stopped dead. "Wait, shut up. You hear that?" We all froze. A rustle, low, heavy, in the brush behind us. "Probably a deer again," Eli said, though his voice shook. The sound came again, louder, closer. "Shit," Danny muttered, swinging his flashlight toward the noise. Nothing. Just trees. Tyler turned back with that cocky grin. "You guys are pussies." Then we heard it. "Wait up! Wait for me!" It sounded like Danny. My stomach dropped. I looked right. Danny was still there, a step away from me, flashlight shaking in his hand. "What the fuck?" Danny whispered. "What the fuck was that?" None of us moved. Then again, from deeper in the trees, closer this time. "Wait for me." My throat was dry. I remember hearing my own voice before I could stop it. That's not fucking funny. The woods went dead quiet, and then something snapped a branch. Loud, heavy, deliberate. Tyler's flashlight jerked, beam shaking. "Run!" Nobody argued. We bolted, packs slamming against our backs, flashlights bouncing wild light over roots and rocks. Danny was swearing nonstop. "What the fuck? What the fuck?" Eli tripped, and Tyler yanked him up by his pack. "Move!" Behind us, somewhere in the dark. "Wait! Wait for me!" We didn't stop running until the glow of the baseball field lights hit us like salvation. We collapsed in the grass, gasping, laughing in that way you do when you're trying not to cry. Nobody spoke about what we'd heard. We didn't split up right away. We sat there in the damp grass by the baseball field, chests heaving, eyes darting toward the dark tree line like we expected something to come charging out after us. Tyler was the first to speak, still panting. "Holy shit, we smoked that thing." Eli rounded on him. "Smoked what, Tyler? What the fuck was that?" Tyler held his hands up. "I don't know, man. Maybe somebody fucking with us." Danny shook his head hard. "That wasn't somebody fucking with us. That was my voice, dude." "Maybe it was an echo or some shit," Tyler started. "An echo?" Danny snapped, voice going high. "Echoes don't say, 'Wait for me,' twice." Micah hadn't said a word since we stopped running. He just sat there, elbows on his knees, staring back at the black wall of trees. "Micah," I said, quieter than I meant to. "What the hell did you get us into?" He didn't look at me when he answered. "I told you not to go alone." That shut everybody up for a second. The sound of cicadas filled the space between us. Tyler stood, brushing grass off his jeans like it was nothing. "Alright, that's enough spooky shit for one night. We're alive. We're good." Eli barked out a laugh, sharp and tired. "Yeah, until that thing follows us home and eats your face." "Shut the fuck up, Eli," Tyler muttered, shouldering his pack. We all stood, shaky legs carrying us toward our bikes. Nobody said "see you later" or "good run tonight." Danny kept glancing over his shoulder, flashlight still clutched in his hand. "You guys heard it too, right?" he asked, voice low. "Tell me you heard it." None of us answered. We just pedaled home in silence, the dark pressing in on every side, all of us pretending we weren't scared out of our minds. I lay awake half the night, staring at the ceiling, hearing it in my head over and over. Wait for me. Monday at lunch. We were back in our usual spot outside the cafeteria, still running on weekend adrenaline. Danny dropped his backpack on the table like he was mad at it. Guys, I dropped the fucking camera. Tyler barked out a laugh. You what? Somewhere when we were running, Danny said, throwing his hands up. It's out there. I had it. I swear I had it. And now it's gone. Eli shook his head. Oh yeah, let's just go waltzing back in there for a $20 camera. Great idea. Genius. It's got pictures on it, Danny shot back. Proof! I shook my head. Forget it, Danny, it's not worth it. Tyler smirked. Yeah, let the skinwalker keep his glamour shots. Danny glared, then dropped back into his seat. Yeah, fine. That was it, we thought. Tuesday came. No Danny in homeroom. Wednesday came. Still no Danny. By then, his parents had called the police. Word spread fast. There were flyers on telephone poles, cops going door to door, volunteers combing through neighborhoods and the woods. Eli found me by my locker, voice low. They've been searching all over. Quarry, the creek, everywhere. Tyler cut in, jaw tight. Except where we went. None of us said it out loud, but we all thought the same thing. Danny had gone back alone. Thursday was quiet. Too quiet. Teachers still asked if anyone had seen him. Nobody had. Friday, it felt like the whole school was holding its breath. Micah finally broke the silence at lunch, eyes on the table. If he went in by himself, we're the only ones who even know where to look. Nobody argued. Nobody joked. Tyler nodded once. Tomorrow night, we go. Saturday evening, we met up at my place again. No trash talk. No big entrances. Just a quiet agreement as we checked our gear and rode out together. The closer we got, the quieter it felt. Even our tires on the pavement sounded loud. When we reached the baseball field, Eli was the first to slow down. Guys? By the fence, half hidden in weeds, was Danny's bike. The blue frame was coated in a thin layer of dust. Spokes dulled. The handlebars still tilted like he'd dropped it in a hurry. Tyler crouched, resting a hand on the seat. Dust smeared under his fingers. He stared at the trees. He went in on foot. Eli's face tightened, and he didn't come back out. My stomach sank as the woods loomed ahead. This wasn't a joke anymore. It wasn't even just about Micah's story. Tyler stood up, gripping his flashlight. Let's go. Nobody said a word. We slung our packs over our shoulders and stepped off the field. heading down the same trail we'd sworn we'd never walk again. We rolled out after dark. No joking. No noise except the crunch of our tires. When we reached the baseball field, the night air felt thick, still. Danny's bike was still there, coated in that same thin layer of dust. Nobody said a word. We pushed past the fence and into the trees. The woods swallowed us whole. Tyler's flashlight jerked toward the sound. That's him. Wait, Micah started, but Tyler was already pushing forward, shoving branches out of his way. The voice called again, closer. Over here. We followed. The trees thinned just enough for our lights to catch on something on the ground ahead. Tyler stepped over it before his boot caught. He pitched forward with a grunt. Shit, he barked, trying to laugh it off. What, another? He stopped when he saw our faces. We weren't looking at him. We were looking at what he'd tripped over. Danny. What was left of him. His body was twisted, shredded. Flesh torn in ways I didn't want to understand. His jaw was half gone, teeth exposed like broken glass. His chest was open, ribs cracked wide, inside spilled and dried black into the dirt. The smell hit, hot and thick, like something sweet rotting in the sun. The stench of decay, of meat gone bad, of death that had been waiting for days. My stomach lurched, bile burning the back of my throat. The only reason we knew it was Danny was the faded red hoodie and the disposable camera still slung across his shoulder, coated in grime. Tyler's breath hitched. He crouched, shaking his head. You stupid son of a bitch. Micah covered his mouth with one hand, eyes wet. We told you not to go alone. I knelt beside them, anger and grief twisting together in my chest. Why'd you do it, Danny? Then, help me. We all snapped our heads toward the sound. It came from deeper in, behind a cluster of thick pines. Tyler's eyes went cold. He stood, bat in hand. That thing's still out here. Micah grabbed his sleeve. Tyler, don't. You saw what it did to him, Tyler barked. I'm ending this. Danny's voice again, soft and broken. Guys. Tyler started forward. Eli hissed, We need to leave. Not without killing it, Tyler said, low and shaking with rage. Danny's voice came again, closer. Help. Tyler moved past the trees. He had picked up a small branch ready to attack. Micah and I stayed back with Danny's body. I grabbed Tyler's arm. Don't, please. He yanked free. I have to. Micah's face twisted. This is insane. Tyler and Eli disappeared past the pines. A flashlight beam swung wildly. There! Tyler shouted. There it is! I scrambled forward in time to see it. Something wearing Danny's skin like a costume. Head jerking wrong. Eyes too dark. Mouth too wide. Eli screamed and lunged with a heavy rock he had found on the ground, striking the side of its jaw. The thing shrieked, a sound that made my ears ring. It grabbed Eli, claws digging into his side, and flung him like a rag doll. He hit a tree and collapsed, screaming, blood already soaking his shirt. Tyler froze, branch still raised like a bat, but his feet rooted in the ground. Tyler! I screamed. Fucking move! The thing was on Eli again, dragging him into the dark as he clawed at the dirt, sobbing. Help me! Please, God, help me! I grabbed Tyler, shaking him. We have to go, now! Micah grabbed his other arm. He's gone, Tyler. Move! Together we dragged him, stumbling back through the trees, leaving Eli's screams behind. We didn't stop until we burst out onto the baseball field, lungs burning, legs shaking. Tyler shoved away from us, eyes wild, tears cutting through the grime on his face. We left him! We fucking left him! He was gone the second we saw that thing, Micah shouted, voice cracking. None of you ever fucking listen! Now look what's happened! Shut the fuck up! We could have killed it! My hands were shaking as I stepped between them. Enough! We're not killing shit. Not like this. We have to tell the cops. We tell someone. We get real help. People with guns, with trucks, anything. We go back in with backup, and we bring Eli home. They both stared at me, breathing hard. I looked back at the tree line, shadows moving in the dark. My pack was still heavy on my shoulders. I felt the gas slosh inside the can. If help didn't come, then I knew exactly how those woods were going to end. We didn't go home after dragging ourselves out of those woods. Tyler stalked ahead of us, empty-handed but shaking with fury. His knuckles were raw and red from pounding his fist on the counter by the time we stormed out of the police station. We'd burst in like lunatics. 3 filthy, exhausted kids with torn clothes and wild eyes. Listen to me, Tyler shouted across the counter. Eli's still out there. Something in those woods killed Danny, and it's got Eli. You have to send someone, now! The desk officer barely looked up from his paperwork. Son, we've got teams out combing those woods already. Not those woods, Micah cut in, voice shaking. You're not looking in the right place. We've seen it. The cop gave us a flat look. You kids think this is funny? Wasting our time while half this town is out there looking for your friend? My chest ached from holding back a scream. Danny's already dead. We found him. We saw. That's enough. The officer stood now, jaw tight. Go home before I call your parents. Let the adults handle this. Handle what? Tyler spat. You're not doing shit! Two more officers stepped out from a side hall, arms crossed, and that was that. Tyler stormed out first, shoving the glass door so hard it rattled. Micah and I followed, drained and furious. Outside, Tyler paced like a caged animal, hands flexing. They don't care. They think we're fucking around while Eli's out there dying. Micah ran both hands through his hair, staring at the pavement. So what do we do? I felt the weight of everything pressing down on me. We go back. Tyler looked up, eyes burning. When? Tonight. He nodded once, grim. Then we're not going in empty-handed. Back at my house, we dumped our gear onto the floor, breathless with adrenaline and dread. Tyler left for 20 minutes and came back gripping his dad's old baseball bat, the handle wrapped with frayed electrical tape. Micah set a rusty hatchet on the carpet, jaw tight. Best I could do without anyone noticing. I pulled my dad's crowbar from under my bed and set it next to the others. Then I crouched by the closet, digging into the old roadside emergency kit. I pulled out 3 red flares and a gas can still half full. Tyler blinked. Rory? What the hell is that for? My voice felt hollow in my throat. In case we can't kill it, we burn it. Burn all of it. No one argued. Tonight, Tyler said again, gripping the bat, knuckles scabmed and red. We finish it. Night fell. We pedaled out together, weapons strapped to our packs. Tyler led, bat slung through a loop on his bag. His scabbed knuckles flexed on the handlebars every few seconds, like he wanted to hit something. Micah rode behind him, silent, hatchet handle sticking out of his pack. His eyes never left the tree line. I was last, crowbar strapped across my frame, gas can wedged against my back. I could feel the weight of it, heavier than anything I'd ever carried. We ditched our bikes at the baseball field. Danny's was still there, thin dust dulling the blue paint. Nobody spoke as we stepped into the trees. Our flashlights cut thin beams through the dark. We called for Eli at first. Voices low, we were afraid of being too loud. Eli? Tyler called. Eli? We're here. Nothing. We went deeper, hours slipping by. The forest pressed in on all sides. Every snap of a branch made my heart jump. Micah whispered, "We should have brought more people." "No," Tyler growled. "This is on us." My throat was dry. "Eli!" I shouted. "If you're out there, yell back." A beat of silence, then... "Guys." We froze. "Help me." We ran toward the sound, pushing through brush until we found it. A cave mouth yawning open in the hillside. Inside, the air was damp and cold, and there, on the stone floor, was Eli. He was pale, bleeding badly, shirt soaked through, one leg bent wrong. His eyes fluttered open. "You came back." Tyler dropped to his knees. "We're getting you out of here, you hear me? You're going home." "It's still out there," Eli whispered. "Not for long," Tyler growled. We hauled him up, leaning his weight between us. We stumbled toward the cave mouth, hearts pounding. For a moment, it felt like we might make it. Then, from the trees... "Guys..." Micah's eyes went wide. "I'll take him. You two? Don't." "Go," Tyler barked, gripping his bat. "Get him out of here." Micah hesitated, then slung Eli's arm over his shoulder and started back down the trail. That left me and Tyler. We turned toward the sound, flashlights trembling. Something moved between the pines, slow and deliberate, and then it stepped into the beams. Danny's hoodie still hung from its shoulders in ragged strips, soaked through with something dark. The thing underneath wasn't human. Too tall, too thin, muscles and sinew showing through torn flesh. Clumps of hair slid off its scalp with every step, and its jaw gaped wide like it was unhinged, teeth uneven and slick with black. It grinned. My breath caught. Tyler muttered, "You son of a bitch." Then he roared and charged, bat swinging high. The bat connected with a sickening crack. The creature staggered, then shrieked, a sound that made my skull vibrate. I swung my crowbar into its ribs. It spun, claws flashing, tearing into my arm. Heat flared as blood ran down my hand. Tyler swung again, but the creature lunged. Its claws punched into his side like a knife. He stumbled, swung again, smashed its jaw, but it backhanded him. The bat flew from his hands as he hit the dirt, sliding through pine needles. He pushed up to his knees, empty hands pressed to his side, blood soaked through his shirt. I'm bleeding out," he gasped. "Don't say that," I screamed, reaching for him. He shoved me away, eyes locked on the gas can spill nearby, fuel leaking into the dirt. His jaw set, his breathing steadied. "Rory, give me a flare." I fumbled one out of my pack and tossed it to him. "Tyler, don't go," he barked. He caught the flare, twisted open the gas can, and poured it over himself, soaking his shirt, jeans, hair. The fumes hit me like a punch. The creature stalked closer, mouth splitting wider, black drool dripping from its jaw. Tyler stared it down, shaking, bleeding, drenched in gasoline. He struck the flare against a rock. The flare burst to life in his hand, red light bathing his face. "Hey!" he roared. It turned its head just as Tyler shoved the burning flare into his chest. Fire raced over the gasoline-soaked fabric in an instant. He became a living torch, screaming, but not in fear. With a final roar, he charged, tackling the creature in a full-bodied slam. The thing screeched as the flames spread, catching its skin, its hoodie, its slick, raw flesh. Tyler locked his arms around it, ignoring the claws tearing into him as they both went up in a storm of fire. The forest lit up in an instant, flames leaping from the fuel-soaked ground to the dry needles above. The thing's shriek merged with Tyler's as they rolled, thrashing, burning together. I ran. Branches tore in my face and arms as I stumbled through the undergrowth, smoke burning my lungs. Behind me, the forest roared and popped, sparks flying up into the night sky. I didn't stop until I stumbled out onto the baseball field. I collapsed, coughing, my chest on fire. Micah was there with Eli, both of them wide-eyed as they saw me alone. "Where's Tyler?" Micah asked, voice trembling. I couldn't speak. I just shook my head, tears cutting through the grime on my face. He saved me. He ended it. Behind me, a column of fire tore through the canopy, smoke billowing into the night. Sirens wailed in the distance. First responders arrived minutes later, drawn by the flames. They rushed us to the hospital. Eli lived, but barely. He had months of therapy ahead of him. I needed stitches across my ribs and arms, deep lacerations that would scar. Micah sat in the waiting room, silent and pale, wondering how we'd ever explain what happened in those woods. A few weeks later, we buried what they could find left of Danny. We buried an empty coffin for Tyler. We stood shoulder to shoulder, crying and laughing through our tears as we told stories. The dumb things they'd done, the jokes, the nights by the fire. And we promised each other we'd always be there for one another. A couple months later, my family moved. I tried to stay in touch with Micah and Eli. For a while we did, but over the years, we drifted. Last I heard, Micah graduated medical school. Eli owns his own construction business. And me? I'm just an accountant. Nothing exciting, nothing glamorous. But it pays the bills. I look out my window again. The kids have that tent standing now, laughing, crawling in and out of it like it's their own little world. For a moment, I see Tyler's grin in my son's, hear Danny's sarcasm in my daughter's voice. And for a second, I swear, I feel that cold breath from the tree line. I call them in. Tell them to grab every pillow and blanket they can find. We build a fort in the living room instead. Walls of cushions, sheets draped like tents, safe under the soft glow of a lamp. They laugh, they crawl inside, and I sit with them, listening to the crickets outside and forcing myself to smile while my chest tightens. Because some nights, I can still hear the woods burn, and I can still hear Tyler screaming.